You're listening to the Talking Wolves fans' reactions for the 24-25 Premier League season.
It's finished Leicester 0, Wolves 3 away from home today at the King Power. A big result for Wolves today. Going into the game, I wasn't too optimistic. The new gaffers had 3 days to kind of work something in with these crop of players. So I wasn't going into the game thinking that it would be as easy as it turned out to be today. But that is absolute credit to the manager and credit to the players and the supporters today, because as a whole, they were absolutely awesome. The first 10 minutes of the game was a bit shaky. I just think we were both trying to grow into the game, sloppy passes, balls going out of play, nothing really happening of any significance. And you could tell that the first goal was crucial today for any of the teams, and luckily for us, we got it. Gonzalo Guedes, wow, what a player he is. And we've had a lot to say about Guedes over the years that he's been here. Oh, he doesn't like being here, doesn't want to be here, doesn't celebrate when he scores a goal, doesn't join in with the team, nothing like that. I don't care if he doesn't celebrate ever again, if he wants to leave after every game. I do not care, as long as he's putting in those performances. He was brilliant today. I could say the same for all of them, really. I thought they all played a crucial part in today's game. Back five, we saw Sarr come back in, Semedo, Doherty, Totti, Bueno, and Rodrigo Gomez. So, a back five that hasn't played together this season, or a lot of games together this season. And they were solid, I thought. I thought they dealt well with Vardy and anything that their wingers had to offer. It wasn't much, so I'm sure we'll have more tough tests as the season goes along. But it was great to get a clean sheet and 3 points today. Jose Sarr looked really good. I've given absolute pelters for ages, deservedly. But today I thought he played really well. He commanded his area well. He came and caught crosses. His distribution was better. And we just looked comfortable for the majority of the game. And that's down to the tactics, and that's down to how the manager's setting us up. The press was really good today. The energy, the work rate was brilliant to watch. Rodrigo Gomez, I thought, had a good game. Cunha's different gravy. Larson, I thought, did well up top. The two in midfield, who people have been saying can't play together, looked very good. I thought Andre probably had his best game in a Wolves shirt today. I'm not going to say that Gary O'Neill was the issue, but I can damn right say that he might have been a big part of it, because those players that are on the pitch today have serious amounts of quality. And that serious amount of quality is going to keep us in this league if we carry on. And we can build on today's performance. I'm not trying to get too ahead of myself and say we're back. I've been saying it all afternoon, to be honest. But it's a good step in the right direction. I'm happy for the lads today. I'm happy for the manager who's wanted this for ages, it seems, and he's got to show what he's made of today. I'm not getting ahead of myself. Leicester are a really poor side. When you're going into a game and you look at their players that they had today, Danny Wars. I mean, I love Cody, but Cody and Vestergaard at the back, you should be causing them problems with the players that we have. And 90-year-old Jamie Vardy shouldn't really be getting a sniff, which he didn't. And I thought the three at the back did very well today, Doc included. So I'm happy. I'm buzzing. Fantastic away support. Again, I mean, it goes to show that, we always love the lads and we always love the club, no matter who is behind it or the manager taking us forward. So I'm glad we've got 3 points. I'm glad we're back home. And we can kind of look up from now. a tough test against Man United, especially if Cunha gets his ban. They've lost today, so they'll be well up for it. But we need to make sure we're well up for it as well. And hopefully, if we can get something there at home against Man United, then things might start to look a little bit better for us. Tough run of fixtures coming up, but hopefully that doesn't dampen our spirits. So yeah, massive 3 points, massive clean sheet, and an all-round good day. Cheers for having me on, lads. Have a great Christmas. Up the Wanderers.
Just back from Leicester, where it's Leicester 0, Wolves 3, and what a result and what a performance. More importantly, the Vitor Pereira era has started very, very well. 3-0 up by half-time, and just a really, really good performance. Little nervous moment at the start. Ball play through to Vardy. Sarr come out really, really well. I think he was actually out of his box, but just got there, ahead of Vardy and managed to get it away. But after that, it was all Wolves really, and we just looked so much more structured. Players looked like they knew what they were doing. It was a back three with Totti, Bueno and Doherty, who I think actually played really well as a three. Quite like Doherty, and at centre half actually being able to come across and cover Semedo, who was sort of right wing back, and played that role really well. Him and Guedes both combined really, really well. The two of them combining really well down that right hand side. Looked like they played together for a long, long time, albeit obviously they haven't, because the latter has hardly played at all this season. So, just really good link-up play down the right. Rodrigo Gomez, left wing back. He's not a defender, but he did that role really well, actually. Acted defensively when he needed to, won some important headers at the back there, and equally got forward really well as well. And in terms of the goals, the first ones are almost, I'm reluctant to call it a lump forward because it was a bit better than that, but that's essentially what it was. A ball into Larson, wins it well, ball pops up, and Guedes tucks it away nicely. And you have to say his goals per minute ratio must be very, very good this season. Every time he plays, he seems to score. So tucked it away well, which is exactly the start we needed, and go 1-0 up. Second one's a mistake from Leicester. Players just let the ball bounce. But again, Rodrigo Gomez, he's got to be there, and there he is at the back post. Nice touch around the keeper, and it ends up in the back of the net. So just played some really, really good football at times as well. Nice little one touch, nice little in passing, seemed to know what they were doing. And the other thing that I liked, as soon as we lost the ball, everyone's back in position, they're back in their shape, and they're not giving anything away. And don't get me wrong, I'm not getting too excited because there'll be much harder tests to come than Leicester. But we did exactly what we needed to do today and played it really well. Second half for me was all about game management, which again, they got absolutely spot on. Didn't overcommit going forward. Equally didn't sit too far back either. And Leicester are always going to come out quick out the block second half and try and push us back. But we coped with it well, really. They didn't really have a chance, or nothing that you wouldn't sort of expect Sarr to save fairly comfortably. And equally, we could have got a fourth, if not a fifth, and probably should have done, really. Bueno with a header that from where I was sat, I thought was in, but went just wide. And Gomez, similarly, with his header, that should be a goal all day long. But at 3-0 up, you're not too disappointed. You'll let him off. And just touching on that midfield of Gomez and Andre in there today, I think they played that role really well, because when we're going forward, it's almost a front five with the two wing backs and then the front three. But then Andre and Gomez still staying back defensively to give you obviously the back three and then the two in midfield as well, just to give you that protection. And obviously we know what they're all about, Andre and Gomez. They can both break up the play really well. Gomez more than Andre was getting forward as well, particularly second half. But yeah, more just kind of sitting, sort of shielding and winning the ball, which, as I say, they both did really well today. And I have to say, I don't really think there was a bad performance in there. I've seen Totti getting a bit of stick online, and I'm not his biggest fan at all, but actually I thought he had a fairly decent game. There was one when the ball came across and he missed it, and you thought Leicester were going to pull it back to 2-1 at that point. But really, other than that, I don't think he put a foot wrong. And as I say, we're just really, really impressed with the whole team, the structure. There was one point watching the game and we were in our shape and we were kind of sitting off, and you see Vitor Pereira on the sideline telling everyone to calm down and just get in your shape and keep it tight. Suddenly he's jumping up, he's clapping, he's getting Semedo to push forward, and the whole team went. And that really was the difference today. When we pressed, the whole team pressed, and we just didn't give Leicester a way out at all. A lot of the time they went long, and Bueno dealt really well with Vardy as well. Probably once, maybe twice he got in behind, but Sarr was always there to mop up as well. And just as a whole unit, they all seemed to know what they were doing, and as I say, just performing really, really well. And say Man United will be maybe a tougher task, maybe not given the way they're playing recently, but there'll definitely be more difficult games to come. But you couldn't ask for much more than that. I'm sure when Pereira was falling asleep last night dreaming about his first game in the Premier League, it wouldn't have gone much better than it did in reality today. So yeah, just shows you what a bit of tactical nous and a bit of belief from the players really can do, and hopefully now gives them that motivation. It was a must-win really today. Otherwise, we'd have been just cut adrift at the bottom, and for once we had a must-win and actually won it. So hopefully now we can go on, catch Leicester, catch Everton, and try and climb the table. But say try not to get too excited. But a great start.
Hello everyone, Liam Berrier here to talk about Leicester 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 3, which I was not expecting this morning. Yeah, it was just a very tidy performance, I thought. A very clinical first half, scoring all of our 3 shots on target, and then being able just to see the game out in the second half. And it's such a professional performance, and it's been something that we've really lacked this season as a whole. We've been very hot-headed. You know, when we score, we concede in the next couple of minutes. It's been a very chaotic season, so a performance like that fills me with a loss of confidence, because the 2 wins we've had previously at Southampton, you could argue we were quite lucky. Cunha's goal could have been ruled out. The goal they scored could have counted, and the Fulham goal, I thought, papered the cracks hugely. So yeah, to have a win that you can kind of think, right, we fully deserve this. There was no two ways about this. You know, Leicester weren't very good, I didn't think, at all. They're going to struggle in the coming weeks. I think they've got a couple of players out injured, but defensively they're just terrible in the first half. And up front there was just no service for Vardy. So no, yeah, I mean, you think of teams like West Ham, who went to the King Power and had loads and loads of shots, and Leicester just able to easily beat them 3-1. And for us to go there and put on a professional performance like that, I thought, you know, it's something we've been crying out for. So yeah, it fills me with a lot of confidence that we've got a new manager that's came in, and he's done everything we have been lacking with O'Neill. You know, not playing with emotion in a sense. That performance for me showed that it was just, they went there to do a job and they did it, and that's all I wanted to see from a Wolves side. So hopefully we can take this form into a couple of the games. We've got a very, very tough run of fixtures. It does make you wonder if we got rid of O'Neill at an earlier date, brought Pereira in a bit earlier, then we'd be in a much more comfortable position than we are in now. So yeah, it does make you wonder, but it's better late than never, isn't it? But yeah, United as a game, I think we could be getting some points at. They're not doing really well at the moment. Molyneux's going to be bouncing. So yeah, that's the game. I think we at least a draw. I'd take a draw, actually. I'm saying at least a draw. I'd take a draw and I'd snatch your hand off. We just need to start racking up the points now, and getting a bit of momentum going into these tricky run of fixtures. But yeah, very, very good win. One of my favourite performances of the season. Just a tidy, clinical first half, and then just being able just to see the game out in the second. I really was really happy with it. So yeah, up the Wolves.
It was a dream game for Wolves. It was everything they could have asked for and more. Because before the game, it's that old saying again. Every game recently, they've described it as a must-win game, and that one really was, because we were 19th and we were 5 points off safety. And the team in 17th, we were playing them away. So they would have seen it as an opportunity to pull away from danger. But it was a game that we really had to win. Anyway, the worst case scenario would have been a defeat, because it's a tough ask as it is. But if we'd have lost, we would have been 8 points away from safety. And it would have been bad momentum. But the new manager don't know how much it could be attributed to him, but the mentality was different. The players, they puffed their chest out a bit more. They did look noticeably different. Their body language was different too in recent weeks. And one of the things I noticed was that the manager, he packed the team with Portuguese players and Brazilians, Portuguese-speaking players. Jose Sá was back. Semedo was playing. Totti Gomez, Gonzalo Guedes, and other Gomez, Rodrigo Gomez, and Andre. But the manager said that Lamina was injured, that's why he wasn't there, and obviously Nori was suspended. So it was there was 4 changes from the last game, which was Molineux, which I went to, the game against Ipswich. But it was very important that we win. Very, very important. And we started off a little bit slack because early on, after about 7 minutes, Vardy went through on goal, and with a run what he always makes. It was nothing new. It took us by surprise, but thankfully Sá, he was switched on and he came out and thwarted him. Yeah, I said I like the new player. What you say, new player? Although it's not January yet, we had a new player in the squad. He looked just like Gonzalo Guedes, but he didn't play like him, and he was absolutely brilliant. But the first goal, Guedes, he was brilliant. The ball came over, and the way he hooked it, almost coming over his shoulder, and ironically he got between Vestergaard and our old player, our old boy Conor Cody, and he put us 1-0 up. And we seemed to grow in confidence, because although Mavadidi had a shot, Sá saved it comfortably. That was after a quick free kick. And again, after 26 minutes, and again shortly after, we survived a couple of corners without any scares. And Sá came and punched it away, helped the defence. But today we look quite secure against corners and set pieces, which has been our Achilles heel in recent weeks. But yeah, 2-0. It was like a innocuous ball across by Doherty, and their player James Justin, I think it was. He gave us a gift. Santa's usually the one who gives gifts at this time of the year, but thanks James Justin, we appreciate it. Rodrigo Gomez really appreciated it, and he just managed to scramble the ball into the net, although they did check it for VAR to see if he handballed it. But thanks very much, James, we appreciated it. And in the 39th minute, Guedes again on the break with great skills. He almost set up Strand Larsen, but it fizzled out. 42 minutes, Vardy had a chance after a couple of fortuitous ricochets, which we should have cleared. It might have been offside, but we managed, Totti Gomez cleared it off the line. And 43 minutes again, Matheus Cunha, who we were surprised to learn on Friday that he wasn't suspended yet. He managed to get the ball in from a very acute angle when there didn't look like there was much danger. And we held on till half time, and we went in 3-0 up. Riches untold. Who would have predicted that? And again in the second half, they had a lot of the ball. I think it was about 53 to 47% ish. But we looked like scoring more than they did, because Santiago Bueno, he had a header from across after corners and a bit of possession for us, and he should have got it on target, arguably, and it headed wide. Cunha had a free kick where he tried to catch out the goalkeeper on his near post, and it just went wide. And then we had break after break, like we were playing against Fulham. But Dawson and Doyle came on for Rodrigo Gomez and Larsen after 81. 82, Gomez, that's João Gomez, missed a good opportunity with a header after a break from Cunha, and Cunha crossed it. He'd be disappointed he didn't get that on target or put it away to put the game totally to bed. 84 minutes again, Cunha had a break and he squared it for a shot to João Gomez, who didn't finish it off. as I say, we were 3-0 up. Leicester needed to push on, but we looked like more scoring than they did, because they probably knew that they had to gamble, and they left themselves a bit open at the back. And 88 minutes, Forbes, Bellegarde came on for João Gomez, and Semedo made little difference. They still looked a very ordinary team, Leicester, but it's probably because the way we played, we made it look like they were a very ordinary side. But the table doesn't lie. Hopefully that'll give us momentum. We're on the up now. The new manager